Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to a new edition of Sports Shop
Oh, yeah.
27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, I got my main man, KJ Kevin Johnson, former Clemson cornerback from 99 to 02. And
Oh, yeah.
today's special guest, got another Tiger in the house. By the way,
That's
it's
right,
Spring
man.
Valley High School in Columbia, South
Track
Carolina.
star.
This guy
Mm-hmm.
played track and field at Clemson University, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
he's current 2018 and 2023 through 2024
I'm with
state
this.
champion head coach. Y'all help me give it up for
Coach
Mr.
of the
Warren
year.
Eure.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on,
What's
Warren?
up, man?
What's going on, fellas? Fellas,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So glad to
Right,
have you, man,
man.
as well.
Yes,
Yes, hey,
sir.
I like the
So,
introduction, man. You know, what I'm saying you don't get to hear that too often, but when you do hear it and you do it right, it's like, man, that feel
really,
good. It
really.
feel
That's it,
good.
man. Yeah, man. Hey, all your hard
So,
work, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Yeah,
see it.
for
yeah, I
everybody that
appreciate it.
don't know you, Warren, let them know where you from, a little bit about your background.
Yeah, man. So, definitely, I call myself a country kid, even though my some of my family members, say different because I lived in the city for a while, man. So, uh, was born in North Carolina, so I'm definitely a Tar Heel kid.
All right, man.
Small town called Gates, North Carolina. Gates on the map.
All right.
Hey, so small, man. You blink your eye, you miss it. You know,
I
uh,
understand.
you know. Um, moved to Darlington for a little while through my elementary years. Then moved to Columbia with my mom. Saying they've kind of been rocking in Columbia ever since then, man. Through middle school, high school, college, and you know. After my collegiate career was over, came back here and been stuck in Columbia ever since. You know,
Okay.
All right.
yeah,
So that's where your heart at right now in Columbia.
that's where my
So,
heart is, man.
all right,
So
cool, man. Hey,
yeah,
so
man.
what age you start playing sports, and what sport was your first love growing up in North Carolina?
Yeah. Hey man, so first love was basketball, man. Ever since I could remember, I'm watching Tar Heel basketball with my grandfather. That's one of some of the main things that memories that I kind of hold, some hold dear to heart with, man. So that was my first sport that I grew up to love. So I played that all the way up until middle school. Um,
All
when I
right.
moved to Columbia here, moved from Darlington where I was kind of a shoe in to, you know, hey, I'm that type of guy, and moved to Columbia, had a little bit more talent here,
All right. Oh
unfortunately
yeah.
got cut from my middle school team basketball team in the last round of cuts, and kind of let that dream go. Started playing
Okay.
football, and then that kind of sparked things, man, and dabbled in a little bit of track. So I had a little bit of success there my junior year. I guess we can get to that a little later. And, that was it, man. But definitely basketball was my first love.
All
Okay.
right, man. Cool
Yeah.
So,
stuff.
so growing up, did you have a lot of family members that played sports? Who did you look up to? Was it someone that was professional? Or was it someone in your
Mhm.
neighborhood, or a family member or a friend?
Yeah. To be perfectly honest with you, man, not a lot of my family members, I mean, a few play sports. One of my uncles, my mom's youngest brother, he played basketball a little bit. But from the town where I'm from, man, it was, you worked to help the family out, and that was it. So a lot of my family members either worked in the plant or the shipyard. That was just life. Um, so it wasn't until I moved to Darlington and saying been hanging with my boy Donald Carson. Shout out to my boy Donald.
All right, man.
He was the one that kind of you know steered me towards that, watching his dad play football and you know kind of went in and out of that. So I probably say if anything. It was my peers that was close to my age that kind of, geared me into the sports realm.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, man. So I know you said you mentioned you play football. So started out with.
Ooh.
You still
So
there?
yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. So let's
Oh,
see. Started playing
okay. All right.
football with Pop Warner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. So started playing kind of like Pop Warner football, rec league. Um, Played that for I think 1 year, I believe. Mom did not like football. Saying I'm coming from a single parent home, nobody could jump on her baby. She didn't want me to get hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but playing out in the neighborhood, playing, toss them up, hit them up. You know, at some point you got to put the pads on and see how you can do it, right? So I played kind of rec league for a year. So
Yeah,
I was had a little bit of I had a little bit of skill, you know,
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
toot my
yeah.
own horn too much. And then you know, went out, made B team. So I had a little bit more skills. I was like, all right, I might be able to handle myself on my own a little bit.
Hmm.
So that kind of where it took off. But I didn't really play football too long, man. Too much. So
Charles Proctor just chimed in, said future Hall of Famer.
that's my guy, man. That's my partner, man.
Yes,
My right
sir.
hand man when it comes to this track and field.
Yeah, yeah. So, growing up, I know back in the '90s and the '80s, a lot of grandparents and parents didn't really want us to play football because it was a violent
Mm,
sport. Talk
hmm
about did you ever play basketball like in that era, like growing up in middle school, and talk about that a little bit. Like, what made you like basketball?
Yeah. I think it kind of goes back to, say my boy Donald, man. We were both huge Michael Jordan fans.
Yeah.
Um, and so, watching, I'm still a Chicago Bull fan to this day, so
Oh yeah.
shout out to Chi-Town, man. I'm not one of these bandwagon fans when one guy leaves and you start jumping teams. So uh not doing very well right now, but we'll be back up soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, but now, man, so um kind of played, ball here and there. Um, it was really getting it in the streets, man, just playing pickup ball with the friends. Um, you know, I grew up in the area where we stayed outside. So we'll all get up, go one person house, we'll shoot some hoops about an hour or two, and then we'll take that group, we'll go, around to the next neighborhood, play pickup games there. All right, you got to tell that. Boom, let's go to another neighborhood. And so that's all it really was me for me, man. And it was just the competitiveness and playing against individuals that you knew was probably better than you, and I hated losing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to stay on this court until I get this W, and if not, I'll just flatten the ball, and then we all can't play. So it's
Uh,
so
that cost mentor says go.
my man Stack, what's up, man? That was one of my, one of my fellow coaches, man. Coaches my distance kids.
You still there?
Good guy there. Yeah.
Yep. We here, KJ. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay. So
Yeah, a little bit, man. It's like off and on right now.
okay, it's probably your connection. Probably the Wi-Fi. But we were just talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, I
him
can hear
playing.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
but
were
y'all
just talking
going,
about him.
y'all kind of going in and out.
Okay,
Okay.
we were just talking about him playing basketball
Ugh.
and how he grew up a Chicago Bull fan and how they used to play back in in the courts and stuff back in his neighborhood. So,
Oh yeah.
Warren, go ahead and talk
hmm
about football. When you started playing football, what position did you started out playing?
Oh, hey, look, man. I consider myself somewhat a pretty boy, man. I didn't like getting hit too hard,
It's
so I
flooding
was
right
definitely a wide
now.
receiver.
Okay,
Play out in space. You know, do a little shake and move here and there, and if I need to get out, I get out. So that was kind of like my bread and butter. Played a little bit of defensive back. Uh, it was when I got up into middle school. I mean, not middle school, but high school, my freshman and sophomore year, and then mid sophomore year and on, I transitioned to where I was mostly just on the receiver end. So I kind of bounced around receiver, played a little running back here and there where I needed to be. I think even one game I had to play QB, just whole bunch of random stuff going on. So I was the utility guy. You know.
okay. So you play special teams too, and then on defense as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man. Hey, wherever I needed to play to get on the field and to help my team, man, that was just me. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Okay.
said, at the end of the day, I hated to lose, and I'm always been a team player. So if coach said he needs me to punt, but it might only go but 20 yards, but
I feel you,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that foot to the ball. So yeah.
Okay. So all this happened in South Carolina, or this in North Carolina?
Yeah, so the majority of this definitely happened in South Carolina. So
Okay.
so I moved. from North Carolina through at the beginning of my elementary years. So the
Okay.
majority of that I spent in Darlington, South Carolina. And then middle school and high school were was here in Columbia.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Hmm.
Let me check to see if KJ he'll pop back up and I'll let him back in. We just
Okay.
continue questions and then we'll just chime him in and where we left off at when he comes in. So
Yeah, yeah.
high school, did you play two sports at that time and did you start right away or did you play freshman ball or JV?
Man, so high school years, right? So played football freshman year. Well, I played football all 4 years of high school. I
Okay.
did not start running track until my junior year.
What?
Yeah. And with that, I didn't start track until the season was almost over. So I ran in two meets, the last two regular season meets, in order to try to qualify to states. I ran in those two meets. Because I mean, so I'll put it like this, right? In any other sport, if you got in trouble, you had to run, right? You
Yeah.
playing football, you playing basketball, you get in trouble, you're running gashers. And so in
Yeah.
my mind at the time as a football player, why do I want to run in a circle for fun? It just did not make sense to me. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? And so I was young, I was naive, I was, I guess you could say, he was word ignorant there. It's just it it didn't dawn on me how important and how useful track and field could be to other sports. In my mind, it's just I'm running in circles, I'm running here, I'm running there. It just running for fun. No, I can do that out in the neighborhood, you know. Um, so started that what, like I said, ran two meets my junior year, ended up qualifying, making it to region. And I want to say my junior year, only two sprinters at my high school, which was Spring Valley High, made it to the state meet. That was myself in the 400 and Chris Jackson in the two.
Okay. Cool.
And at that point, I was like, I might be okay.
All
I
right.
might be all right. Yeah.
So in football, did you started varsity your freshman year or did you play JV?
Oh no, 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 no. So I was B squad or just saying freshman team my freshman year. Sophomore year, I got pulled up. I played JV a little bit. And got pulled up to varsity games midway through the season, and then from my junior senior year, I was strictly varsity and starting from there.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Hey,
that,
so
that
who was the competition? And while you was playing football, who was the competition in the area?
yeah, yeah. So of course, since freshman year, man, we were loaded at receiver, man. I think shoot, you had one of our greats, Willis Ham,
Yep.
on the show, previously. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
when you got guys like that's playing in front of you, it's like Alabama in the 2000 to 2019. You just got to wait your turn,
Oh yeah, okay.
And then saying by the time I got to my junior year, it was kind of really just my show, man. So I mean, you had my boy Corey Hale, that played well, and Mike. So we definitely had some guys that can really rock with it. Um, Seabrook, he was a year ahead of me, so it was definitely a few guys that you know you paid your dues. You doing everything that the coach is asking you to do,
Mhm.
and so you wait your turn. And shoot, like I say, by the time my junior year came, it was, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in that era, I think from I guess you could say 99 to '01, who was
Hmm.
the best team in y'all division? I know Spring Valley. I think you guys were playing. We didn't play y'all, but
Hmm.
before '01 we did. Did you guys play Midland Valley, Rich Northeast during that
Oh,
time?
no. Okay, so now when you start talking about other teams, yeah, definitely Northeast, man. That's the rivals. Hey, to this day, I don't like wearing orange and blue together. Um,
Dang.
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
It's,
Erie,
it's
Erie,
Hey,
Erie.
shout out to Aries Curry, man. That's my
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's my
what's up,
partner
Erue?
there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But yeah, they definitely couldn't stand Northeast, man. But they were definitely rivals, man. That was definitely a receiver slash athlete that week in, week out, I always kind of had to hear, oh, guess what he did last week? Like, who cares? You know, it's the Northeast, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, Sumter was a juggernaut back then.
Mhm.
You know, had you guys like Demetrius Summers and all that. You know, Irmo was actually, you know, saying relatively decent then. Dutch Fort with Gasparotto.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, so you know, down, you know, there was definitely, you know, saying some those four schools definitely, you know, so during that time was if you played them, you knew you was coming with it. Oh, Northwestern, oh man, I don't even know how I forgot about Northwestern.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
seemed like every year they was coming out with doggone 18 5 stars. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So go ahead, KJ.
Oh yeah. In high school, what kind of track coach did you have? Was he kind of cool, laid back? Oh,
Oh man, Coach Jones, man. That was Coach Jones. I always say he's like the Dallas Cowboys, or he was the Dallas Cowboys of head coaches. You know,
okay, all right.
either either you hated him
Oh, you
like
love him.
wholeheartedly, or you
Yeah.
loved him to death. You know,
No in
he
between.
was. Yeah, there was no in between, man. You know, he was a straightforward guy. Um, you know, definitely had compassion and heart, but then at the same time too, was like if you can't get the job done, I'll just find somebody else to do it. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
and I think that's kind of where I get a lot of my coaching prowess from. You know,
Okay.
Oh,
hey, at the end of the day, yeah, you know, I want you to succeed. I want you
mhm.
to do well, but at the end of the day, well, hey, the fun is in the winning.
Yep.
Yeah, man. For
You know,
real. Yeah.
and so if you're not coming out here with that passion to, you know, saying to win, and we all know from a coach's standpoint,
hmm
um,
Yeah.
you know, not everybody's gonna love the sport like you do, but damn it,
Exactly.
you can fake it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true.
So
Yeah.
That's true, man. That's facts.
So in
So,
track, who was the team to beat? Which track team was the team to beat in your era?
woo,
Y'all did
Sumter in
y'all run it?
Northeast.
Y'all ran against OW as well?
Oh man, oh who?
no competition.
No competition, man. Nah, but that hey, it's the same too, man. Hey, nah, but real talk though, shout out to OW, man. They definitely had some horses. So don't let's not
Okay,
get it
for
twisted. They
sure.
definitely had
All
some
right.
horses. You know, it's just that's that competitiveness in me, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
But nah, Northeast and Sumter were thorns in my side. Year in, but for I say the year and 2 months that I did run,
Okay.
you know, saying most definitely those two schools,
Mhm.
man. So now you see why I you know, and I have that disdain, dislike for both of those schools, and it still holds true to this day.
I feel you.
So hey, shout out to both of those schools, but I still don't like
Uh,
it.
hey, hey, man, how
But
your
it's all
relay
love.
team? How do your relay team do in high school? That did pretty
Um,
good.
yeah, man. So, I want to say my senior year, you know, shout out to Coach Jones, man. He was always a visionary. So, he actually, because of the talent that we had, we actually ran a couple indoor meets, that year. So I want to say we were the only school in the state that was actually traveling to indoor meets. Um, 4x14 went to high school nationals that year. Um, Placed pretty, you know, saying pretty well. In regards to that, I think we finished maybe I want to say 14th in the nation that year, somewhere around there. So you know, not too shabby for a team that doesn't do indoor. You know, can't come outdoor. My senior year, we finished second in the 4x4. 4x1, I want to say we finished third my senior year. Um, and so you know, had to do a couple of substitutions because we weren't you know, at full mass with our A team. So, you know, to be able to substitute guys in and still run well during my high school years, definitely was a plus, man. Even my junior year when, you know, so when I first started, um, Michael Boulware, shout out to Michael
Yeah.
Boulware. He wasn't able to compete at the state meet. I can't remember for why, so I had to actually sub in for him because I wasn't even on the 18 that year, and we ended up finishing second that year in the 4x1. So I think we ran what 42-1, I believe. So we were okay, man. We was kind
Yeah.
of moving a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Yeah.
what was your 40 time in the 40-yard dash in football?
Ah man. So if we talking about in high school, I was a 4.42 guy. four
Okay.
four two guy in high school, and then when I went collegiately, saying my coach kind of let us have fun a little bit. So I actually my fastest time was 4.34.
Okay. Wow. Got it
So
done.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah. Do y'all win any state championships in football or track?
Oh man, not unfortunately no man. Football we got booted out first round by the team that actually won the state championship both years. So I think my junior year we lost to Greenwood my junior year, and then my senior year we lost to Northwestern in the first round, and both of those schools ended up winning the state championship. So,
Mm.
uh, I say I was always upset that you lose, saying that we lost, but then it was just like, well, they did ended up winning the state championship, so I guess they were pretty good, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then from a track and field standpoint, man, I finished runner up. Well, we finished runner up both years. First year
Um,
to Sumter, and then the second year to Northeast in Somerville. They tied for first.
Okay.
wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
so did you play any all-star games in football or track or anything like that? I know you said y'all went to nationals in high school.
Yeah.
In football, did you play North South or Strombo?
So didn't get selected for that. And I think really from my standpoint, I just didn't have the numbers my junior year,
Oh,
to kind of really be selected for the Shrine Bowl. And then for the North-South game, I was in the bubble. Um, but there were a couple guys from around the lower state that from information that was told to me that got picked up other than myself. So it wasn't like I didn't have the yards, or the receptions, but it is what it is, man. I'm 5'10" guy, weighing 160 pounds, and you
Mm-hmm.
got the kids down that, got the offers,
oh yeah,
saying from the other schools. So it's at the end of the day, sports is, it's a little bit of politicking in sports as
Oh
well.
yeah, it's
So,
a business.
yeah, it's a business, what I mean?
Mhm.
And I get it. You want to try to put those kids that are potentially going to be the face of programs. You want to put them on the map and then put them in front of other coaches. So, I didn't, I didn't, give them or anybody any kind of, say hate towards that. I understood what the game was. So,
Oh yeah.
all right.
mhm.
Hey, so coming out of high school, talk about the recruiting process. I know Clemson was one of them. So
Yeah, yeah. So, in totality, man, like I mean, I got offers from football, had offers from Middle Tennessee State, had offers from Wofford, um, what's that, Marshall. So, funny story, man. Went up to Marshall for a visit, me and my mom's. We get up there. First thing I was like, okay, this in the middle of the mountains. Strike one. It's in West
yeah,
Virginia. Strike two.
right too.
You know what I'm saying? It's a night game. They're playing Miami of Ohio. And, my mom and I, we were sitting in the stands, and I'm just looking around, and I'm like, it's, it looks like it's not that too many of us up here, mom. And she's like,
Yeah.
it's that's life, just, wherever you go, sometimes, environments change. And I was like,
Yeah, most definitely.
yep, snow, mountains, little lake. And I was like, I'm not sure if I stay here, I'm gonna love it. So, what I'm saying, I kind of pull back from that. And then from the track standpoint, man, um, because I kind of started a little late, those offers kind of rolled in a little slow. But definitely had looks at Florida State, um, Charleston Southern, um, who else? I think it was one or two other schools. I can't think of that was in Tennessee. I was trying to think of those names. Middle Tennessee actually looked at me from a track and field standpoint as well.
Okay.
And then state meet comes around. I finished second in the 400. I finished second in the 200. Like I said, we get what second or third in the 4x1. Uh, the runner up in the 4x4. 2 days later, I get a call, Charles Foster. Said may he rest in peace, man. But we chopped it up for about an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
And after that conversation, I told my mom, I was like, hey, I've always kind of been a Clemson fan. Let's kind of see what this looks like, man. And went on my visit up there. Took me a tour around, met a couple of the athletes that was there. Now, granted, saying this tour is going on in June, so it's not really, a lot of people on
Yeah,
campus.
yeah, yeah.
Saying you
Okay.
got a couple track athletes still there because they're training for nationals.
Yeah.
Ran into JC Harper. So he was I was like, boy, if all the teammates are like this guy, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Cause I was like, he looked like he rude as shit. Like, dog,
Yeah. For real.
but yeah, man, he was, but I get it. He know me and I didn't know him. So it's like, hey, all right. I don't know. I don't know what you can do, so I'm gonna just say hi bye and and keep it
Yeah,
pushing
keep it moving. Yeah.
and keep it moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was pretty much it, man. I've had a few offers here and there, like all in all, but in the end, Clemson was my choice.
All right. So you get the
Yeah.
clip in your first year. I'm assuming you met Aries,
Hmm.
met Ty Hill. Talk about
Yeah.
your track teammates during that era and y'all
Sean
find
Crawford.
played against each other in high school and stuff. Tell me what that first conversation was like.
Yeah. So I think when I first realized that those two guys, Ty and Air Reese were there. I knew Reese was going, um, but I didn't know Ty had committed to go there to play, play football and run track. And so it was funny. So my senior year, we all had raced each other in the 200. Now, granted, they both beat me, but I wasn't too far behind, so I'm not gonna give them, saying that much props. But saying they were kind
Yeah.
of rolling. So by the time so we got on campus and I saw him, I was like, familiar faces. All right, bet. So now I don't have to worry about competing against you. Now I know that you're with me. So now, hey, let's sharpen
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
tools
We
together.
teammates.
Yeah, we teammates, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So now so that was cool. And actually, uh, three other guys that came in my freshman class, I didn't know that I competed against them at Nike Indoor Nationals my senior year, and we were literally all in the same running the 4x2 together against each other. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So God, I see what you did there, So we kind of, chopped it up a little bit there, traded war stories as far as, how we got there. And everything was smooth from there. So very smooth transition, man. All my guys from my freshman year, we still talk to this day. Mike Boland, um, Ron Richards, we call him
Oh
Young
yeah.
Dugans, Otto
Mhm.
Spain, that's
Oh
another
yeah. I know Otto.
yeah, I'm
Oh
about to
yeah.
say Otto, yeah, that's a
Uh-huh.
hometown legend there, Irmo High School. So
Mm.
yeah, so man, hey, it was smooth, man, real smooth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. Hey, talk about your first track meet at Clemson. I know you probably had butterflies.
Ooh, boy, look here.
A lot of pressure from Coach Foster for real.
Man, let me tell you. So Coach Foster, so this is why I grew this out, because
Yeah,
of
I
because
tell
of
you, you
Foster,
remind me
man.
of it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and again, some of my coaching prowess comes from, saying a little bit from him as well, man. Coach Foster was a character. He was no nonsense, and
Yeah.
he gave it to you raw. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
man.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm like, it's one thing to be like straightforward, right? Like I consider myself a very straightforward guy,
Oh
and
yeah.
coach.
Oh yeah.
But some of the things that he would say, it was like
Said we
I
started off with
remember
a
one
bang.
track meet. So, well, first let me ask you a question first, man, because that story was kind of funny. So my first track meet at Clemson, it was a home meet, and I'll never forget this because of the backstory that happened, but I won't say the name, but we had an athlete that it was kind of chilly that day. He was supposed to run 100, and he ended up not running 100 because it was a little chilly, right? So definitely Foster and Coach Pollock, our head coach at the time, may he, rest in peace as well. I mean, they laid into him. I mean, they laid into him good. And I mean, this guy he was a stud. And I was like, oh wow. So if they treating studs like this, I can only
Yeah.
imagine how they gonna
What they
treat
gonna
me.
do to you?
And I'm right. And I'm not running anywhere with these times.
Oh yeah.
Right. But ran the two, ran the four that from an outdoor standpoint. I'm not even gonna talk about indoor 'cause that was just a whole, even though I ran at high school, the first year running collegiately indoor was uh it was different because we didn't have an indoor track at that time, right?
Okay.
Everything was around Little John. And so because
Yeah.
I was a quarter miler, we always train outside, rain, sleet, or snow. All the short sprinters, they got to go into Little John and stay in the air conditioned place. So I always had a little resentment from that. So that's why I didn't talk about indoor because that first year I hated indoor.
Yeah, that's what
Hated it.
that's what I was gonna ask you. One of my questions: do you like indoor or outdoor better? But you summing it up right now.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, hated it.
Wow,
Hated it.
man! Wait, it's the breathing inside. Is what?
Man, look at it. I mean, you talking about tight turns. I mean, and then when we did go into Little John, like I'm running in a circle. I can't see where I'm going. I don't know what's coming. And then everything was just
Oh,
so, what I'm saying,
yeah,
it was
tight.
just so
Yeah.
on top of you, you know what I mean? It probably wasn't until my junior year that I started kind of, okay, I'm kind of starting to figure this thing out, you know.
Yeah.
But then by that time, I was actually running well enough to travel, so
There
I
you
got to
go.
see things outside of Little John.
So,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey,
Mhm.
so so any young ones that's listening to me, yeah, Coach Warren had to go through the ringer too. I wasn't always that, saying that guy in college. And sometimes you got to wait your turn, and sometimes
That's
that
right, man.
maturation
Be
process
patient.
is a little slower than others. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I know you enjoyed your time at Clemson, running
Hmm.
track. Talk about your best year. Was it your junior, senior year? Was it when got a little older and got acclimated with
Hmm.
the system? Talk about that a little bit in your training. Like, did you do a lot of weight training as well, or just stretching,
Hmm.
or resistant bands? What type of
Coach
training?
Benson, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man. So, yeah, Coach Bassett. Yeah, man. That and Greenlee.
Yeah, man.
Coach
Green. Yeah,
Greenlee.
Coach Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so the funny thing about that, man, from a training standpoint in lifting, because I played football and with the strength and conditioning coach that I had, Mike, uh, back at Spring Valley, a lot of the things that they were doing in college, I was already doing in high school with Coach
Hmm.
Armstrong. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, a lot of the power lifts and Olympic lifts and, hitting the jammer, and stuff like that. And the inside sleds, like we had that at Spring Valley. We was one of the only few high schools that had that. So that transition was smooth, you know,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
college
re-
ready. Hmm.
yeah, I was college ready from that standpoint.
Yeah.
So like, oh,
Uh,
weightlifting, bet, boom, let's go.
oh yeah.
Now from the training from a running standpoint, for me, that was the most difficult part, because I'm coming from a background where, at the end of the day, I really say I only ran high school track for a year. Like, yeah, I ran at state my junior year, but you're talking
Oh,
about four meets, right?
Yeah.
So it
nice.
wasn't really until my senior year that I kind of went through a whole season of, okay, this is what this looks like. And so the way I trained in high school, and then I got with Coach Foster, total 180, totally 180. Starting instead of starting in January or February like I did in high school, we're starting 3 weeks after, in saying like what, mid-September, early October,
Hmm.
right? You're going through your fall training, not even touching the grass. I mean, on the track, we're just on grass and we're just running. We're just constantly doing tempo stuff.
high knees
Um,
and all kind of stuff, probably.
how to, yeah, I mean, yeah, and we didn't really do a lot of resistance band stuff. It was really just a lot of tempo work.
Oh, tempo. Okay.
Tempo,
Yeah.
tempo, tempo. Whether it was short, long, it was just all tempo. That was just his philosophy, right? Um, and then in order to get out of fall conditioning into okay, now we're starting to get ready for indoor season. For me, we had to do an 800-meter test, all sprinters, right? So freshmen had to be under 215, sophomores had to be under 210, juniors and seniors had to be under 206. If you hit the time right on the head, it didn't count, right? So,
Whoa.
right. So,
Still,
right. So my freshman year, I'm like, so you telling me if I run 2:15:01, I got
you
to
gotta
do
do
this
it
shit again
again.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And that was just Coach Foster, you know.
Yeah. He gonna
Um,
break me, man. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So and at the end of the day, he was that cocky guy that, he lets you know all the time. Like, hey, I mean, I held the world record in the hurdles. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it might only been for 30 minutes, but what I'm saying, he did it right, and he let you know all the
Oh yeah,
time.
man.
Like, what I'm saying, either we gonna win or you gonna lose.
Mm.
And that was what I'm saying, his motto all the time. Either you get on board and we both win, or you do what you do and you lose and you won't be here.
Darn.
Man,
Hey,
Right.
hey, he didn't make y'all run stadiums, or I know we had the hill over there right near
Hmm.
the track. You know
Yeah,
those
yeah,
hills
yeah. Oh,
over
Cemetery
there?
Hill. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So we did a lot of Cemetery Hills with the weight vest.
Woo,
Um, yeah,
man.
and also the hill that's the dike.
Yeah, yep,
Um,
that's right. That's
so
right.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So hey, look here. If I don't never see that dike again for the rest of my life, it
It's
will be too
okay.
soon.
For real,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, hey,
I feel you on that
stay,
one.
yeah, stay there, man. So,
Yeah.
that part of the training was that was the most difficult part. I mean, there was definitely a couple times where I thought to myself,
I'm ready to
ain't no
quit.
way I'm gonna make it. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if track
It's for me.
collegiate track and
Yeah.
field is for me, like these
Uh-huh.
guys are fast. Like I was good in high school.
Yeah, man.
I'm not good here, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I just had to keep my
It's a
head down,
challenge,
and
though. Hmm.
it was a challenge, and I think for me, um, seeing that challenge and just knowing, like again, like I'm not gonna let this break me. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
Like,
Mhm.
even though I
Yeah.
grew up,
Yeah.
with just
Yeah.
my mom, yeah, like
Hmm.
I got to be a man about this, and I can't just
Yeah.
quit just because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like what's gonna
Hey,
happen when I get into the real world and I got a job? Am I just gonna quit every job because I don't feel good? Like, nah.
that's what I'm gonna say,
So,
man. If you quit, you go back home, you going back to your friends, you might end up getting in trouble. Like,
hmm
it's a lot to
yeah,
think about, man. So,
exactly.
mhm.
So let me ask you, diet wise, did everybody have a weight target for their body weight and mass that they had to meet on the run track, and what your diet
Wow.
consists?
Yeah. If I'm being perfectly honest, no,
Wow.
no, no. I mean, there were a few that, if they were trying to transition events, to try
Hmm.
to, shave some body fat off. Now we did get tested for that every year. Saying what was your body
Oh
fat?
yeah, 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 yeah.
You
We did
know.
that. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but other than that, nah, man. Look here, we stayed in the dining hall, Shaletta, Parkland.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, look here, down for
Yeah.
some that know downstairs Shaletta. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
None of the
everybody knew,
mama. Yeah.
but downstairs Shaletta on Thursday nights. Why?
Woo. Yeah, man.
Hey, who got
That's
that
all you can
unlimited?
eat,
Let's swipe.
baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's
Tell you.
swipe that card, man. Swipe that card. But man, so nah, we ate whatever we wanted, man.
For
Ate
sure, man.
whatever we wanted.
All
So
right.
Hey, hey, talk about some of the competition in the ACC. When you was there. I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, so with the competition there, coming in, it was really Clemson every year. What I'm saying, I want to say they had won three, three or four outdoor titles in a row. From outdoor, indoor, I think they had won the past three.
Mhm.
Um, and so really that was really it, man. And then I think my by my sophomore year, the tides kind of turned, and Florida State just kind of just came into like this whirlwind. You had like Walter Diggs and Antonio Cromartie.
Okay.
I
Oh
can't
yeah.
remember yeah, I can't remember. And they had another quarter miler, man. I can't think of his name right now. But Florida State, I mean, boy, they when they came and they started doing this little similar chop, boy, look here. And the thing was like I was a Florida State fan of, saying kind of low key, saying like from a football standpoint in high school,
Yeah.
but Peter Ward was my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I would try to emulate what he did on the football field, in that
Oh yeah,
practice. So
man.
it's like I didn't mind the chop, but then when I got to Clemson, I kept hearing, I was like, boy, these guys don't know when to shut up. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
I
man.
couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So definitely Florida State, and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech they were a problem. I don't know if a lot of people give Georgia Tech, saying credit,
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't never heard about
saying back then, but
track team.
Georgia Tech has some animals, man. They
Yeah.
had they
The
this
track, football, and basketball doing that
yeah,
early 2000s. They went to the national
yeah,
championship.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had Joey Hamilton and what was the other guy? Ball.
Ball,
Uh,
yeah. Reggie
what is that?
Ball.
Reggie Ball. Mm-hmm.
Reggie
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia.
Mhm.
Look here, Georgia Tech
Calvin,
had a ball. hmm
Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
They had
yeah,
some
he was a
man.
little, saying a little after me,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
missed
yeah,
him, man. Luckily.
woo, look here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably say those two schools, year in and year out during my time, those were the okay. If you can get past them, then more than likely you're gonna be all right
Yeah.
from a conference standpoint.
What was your favorite place to have a track meet in? What was your favorite arena?
Oh wow. So indoor, I'm gonna say Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nebraska at the time they were the only ones that had a hydraulic track in North America.
Okay.
And that was, so when I heard that, I was like, okay, so I got to put on here. So that was saying,
Yeah.
so I had saying my best runs there. So definitely indoor Nebraska. Outdoor, that's a tough one, man. Probably George Mason.
Oh. Okay.
Probably George Mason. I'm just thinking about, where I had my best performances, and just,
That's
some track atmosphere. So
yeah.
yeah,
hmm
yeah, yeah.
So you competed at a high level in track. What was next for you after college? Did you try to go professional? What did you do after Clemson?
Yeah. Shoot, I wish I was, saying I had the times to go professional, man. So once my career ended there, it was really just kind of try to find my footing. To be honest with you, man, I really didn't know what I was going to do. You
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
know, I graduated, I came back home. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a job lined up. So, any kids that's watching, even when you graduate college, so for some, that job opportunity might not be there waiting for you as soon as you cross that stage.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And so that was me. Working part-time at Best Buy. So try to transition to that into full time. And
Mhm.
then when I got back here, shout out to my right-hand man, Silas McEwen. And so his mom got me in the door with working Blue Cross. So I did insurance for about 8, 7, 8 years, right? Um, and then kind of started, you know, dibby dabbing and looking at what's going on around in the city. And a friend of mine, Jeremy Lane, asked me to come out to help him with this club track team at the time. So I was like, yeah, I'll come out, show a little bit here and there and, get my little expertise and then, get on back to the house, kicking and get ready for work.
Yeah.
Went out there, kind of was like, I kind of like this. This is kind of fun. Because I didn't have that growing up and to have somebody to kind of mentor me and kind of give me some of the insights to say, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong. If you want to make this, take this to the next level, think about doing this. So um, that rec team ended up becoming a club team, which is now called Team Blaze track club. So we're probably one of the premier dominant, track clubs in the state of South Carolina for the past, I'll say 18 years. So
Mhm.
and I say that with my chest, you know.
Yep.
All right.
Um,
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so and that kind of really sparked my my intrigue to coach. And so I did the Team Blaze for about 2 years. And I was like, you know what? Let me see what's going on in the high school realm. So I have reached back out to my high school coach, well, actually I reached out to my sprint coach, but then hit up Coach Jones. And so he kind of let me come out and kind of be in the shadows and wing a little bit, and help out with the high schoolers out there. Um, and then after about a year and a half, 2 years with that, uh, saw a little posting online at Richland Northeast, and in my mind, I'm like, ain't no in the world I'm gonna go and try to apply at Richland
A
Northeast.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did it anyway, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm like, it's a job, and if I want to get into coaching, beggars can't be choosers, right?
That's right.
Um, so I applied to that job, and I'm not even sure if this is it's a question that you asked, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll through this story anyway,
All
right?
right.
I applied to the job. I get an email back maybe 3, 4 days later saying the position was already filled. And in my mind, I was like, well, why you still got it posted and you already got the job filled? But okay. And so I go back online and now I see Ridgeview posted the position. So I was like, okay. I submitted on Tuesday. No, I submitted it on Monday. I get a call for an interview on Tuesday. I get the job offered to me on Thursday.
That's great.
It was that quick.
And you've
So
been there ever since, right?
ever since, man, ever
Wow.
since. And so it was kind of cool because some of the kids that ran for my club team,
Yep.
what I'm saying, were a part of the high school. So that transition was very, very smooth.
So now you got the system developed, and they already acclimated to the system. So talk about
Mhm.
some of those kids that you groomed that went on to college, from Team Blaze to Ridgeview High School, maybe region and state champions, and went on and went to college.
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably say the most notable, Arlicia Bush. That was, me and her dad, we rock it like four flats. But definitely she's probably arguably probably the best sprinter, female sprinter that has come through and graduated from Ridgeview High School, man. You're talking about three-time state champion in the 400. Um, she was part of the state championship 4x14. Had the school record, so on that relay as well. She ended up going to Virginia Tech, having a good career there. Competed at U20s. Um, ACC champion in a couple relays, indoor and outdoor. Um, had Faith Mackey. She was in that same graduating class as Arlie. She ended up going to Claflin. Um,
Okay.
both of those girls ended up being, ranked top 20 in the nation in both their events. Faith was a 400 hurdler. So she ended up going to Claflin, having a successful career there. Um, Linnea Martin, one of our top sprinters. She went on to was at East Tennessee State along with Janata Elliscar, and as a 400 hurdler, 400 runner. She went to the same school as Linnea. Um, Man, it's so many, man. Sure, I got a young girl now down at Georgia State, Dania Staley. I think she's number 3 on the all-time list on the 400. So that was my bread and butter, man. Like at the end of the day, I got to have at least one quarter mile or so. All of those kids kind of help me with that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what you enjoy the most about being a track coach? What stick out the most?
Um, that's a great question, man. That is, boy, that's a good question. I wasn't expecting that one.
All right,
Um,
I'm bad.
um, I think for me, man, it's really just passing that knowledge, you know, giving them enough to be ready for that next level, but still holding a little bit back to give them room to grow once they get to that next level. I think with the way high school is starting to become now, I feel like a lot of coaches are trying to rush the development. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because now, we see how the landscape of college sports is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
across the board. It's everybody wants something that's ready now.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of schools are looking to take on a lot of development pieces, and so I think for me, granted, I want the kids that are ready and saying and rock and roll too, because at the end of the day, you can't win championships if you don't have you got dogs.
Yeah.
But saying having that development piece, man, and seeing these kids having that opportunity to learn and understand what they're doing, right? Even if they don't fully understand it, they kind of have an idea. And so now I kind of planted that seed. And so now is either you can take it and run with it and we can build upon it, and try to make this thing work for you, get to college, get a little bit of, money paid for. So Uncle Sam in always in your pocket once
Yeah.
you graduate, you know. Or, you can take life lessons outside of that, whether, you want to continue in sports or not.
Yeah.
Um, so that would probably be my answer to that, man.
Yeah. Well, KJ Cameron went out for a second. I don't know if he can hear us, but we're gonna go ahead and get into a clip, man. This is a young woman. I don't know if this is your daughter or someone that you train. Uh,
Okay.
they're just showing the development of her training and her actually having to meet. For everybody just watching, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. That like button, hit the notification button so you know when we go live. We have former Clemson University track and field, and now Ridgeview High School head coach for women's girls track, Warren Eure. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this
Mm.
clip, and we'll be right back with Warren. Okay.
All right, man.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings.
Count it up, count it up, count it up. Line 'em up, line 'em up, line 'em up. Swear the sun shining on me, get my heart up, no matter that trouble surrounding us. They don't see that it's a lot of us. Everybody move anonymous. Won't take that credit, I know what we get, and them blessings be coming from God above. I was doing all kind of bad, what a quiet ass, tell him I need a verse. Hit the pew and tell Gotti first. Hit the studio to body a verse. I remember pushing mama little white Hyundai with no gas money. I just bought a car, cash money. I ain't even tryna brag on it. I just tell it how it really is. I ain't tripping, they ain't feeling this. I ain't saying I deserve nothing, I'm just trying to talk about the benefits. I've been punching in the clock, trying to keep the kitchen stocked. Man, it's a blessing, cause we ain't never had a lot, but all we need is all we got. Whew.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up.
All right.
Your beast, man. I tell you, hey, that
Oh
Flojo,
man.
baby
Oh
Flojo.
man. Hey, y'all over here trying to bring a tear to my eye, man.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's a
so
good
that's
feeling.
that's my daughter, man. That's my oldest, Lolo. Um, so so at the beginning of the video, man, she was 5, and that was kind of like a little project that she had to do for her kindergarten class. Um, you know, what do you like to do and so forth. And the thing is, like, I never pushed my daughter into sports, right? Um, or track and field or anything. She just kind of fell in love with it, being with me, so that track meets
See,
and around practice.
Practice.
Right,
yeah.
right. And so one of the athletes that I mentioned earlier, Faith, my daughter really took a liking to her, and so she came to me one day. It's like, Daddy, I want to do the same thing that Faith does. Okay,
All
so
right.
we was in the weight room and she was going over the wickets. I was like, okay, well, this is what it looks like to, try to be a hurdler, man. These are, saying a couple drills. And man, I think I fast learner, man. I showed her the drill once, maybe twice,
Wow.
got it, right? Really fast learner, man.
That's fine. Yeah.
And so fast forward to now, last year, as a seventh grader, she actually ran for my high school team. Um,
Ooh,
and actually,
impressive.
yeah, man, and she was the only middle school sprinter to make the state meet.
Damn.
It was Yeah, it was three middle schoolers at the state meet for class of 4A. Two of them were distance girls. She was the only sprinter, man. That's so
Man, she going
shout
to
out
the
to my
Olympics,
baby
man.
girl, man. Hey,
Do
look,
your
hey,
thing, baby girl.
I definitely
Go
love
ahead,
it. I'll be
speak.
sitting right there in the stands.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. Crying.
Right.
Oh, my baby. I know.
That's my baby.
All right.
I
So we
know it,
got
Yeah,
a,
man.
man.
we
Yeah,
got
so
another
that was special.
we
That
got
was
another
definitely
clip.
special, man.
We got another clip with you and the Ridgeview High School girls, I think.
Okay.
Elaborate with this. I think y'all went out of town or y'all had a meet somewhere. We'll come back and talk about it for everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Spotify, Deezer, Facebook, and Instagram. We have Ridgeview state champion high school coach from 2018, 2023, and 2024 season, Warren Eure. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We don't own the rights to this video. Stay with us, Warren.
All right.
Y'all know what time it is when we get into the airport. Back to the rings and flights, baby. Everybody, Coach Proctor here. Just wrapped up pin relays as you see in the airport in Philly. Pretty good showing out there, man. The boys made it to the finals in the national division again for the second year in a row, so that was pretty big. The finals didn't go our way, but we came, we saw, we conquered. That was the biggest thing, is always making it to the final. That's what we try to teach these kids around this time of the year, going into the championship season, so I'm glad we were able to do that.
So here we are again, the end of April, which means we are wrapping up another successful outdoor season. March and April has been pretty good to us on both the boys and the girls side. I think the kids are starting to learn how to compete week in and week out, and that's pretty much what we've been preaching since day one. Not really focusing on the actual time, but just going out, competing with not only the element, but the individuals in the lane beside us. And we know that once we do that, everything else will show.
April was pretty big for us, man. Since the last episode, we had the Blazer Twilight, which was huge. A lot of nationally ranked times was put down in there. Our kids ran extremely well. We had the Coaches Classic prelim that was ran at Westwood. Our kids definitely showed out there. We had a lot of seasons best out there. And so now we're going into our state championship series, man, starting off with region coming up this on May 3rd, region. Then the following week, we got the lower state championship. And the week after that, we got the state championship.
Nia is having a phenomenal year right now. I think she's leading 4A in both the 1, the 2, and the 4. So big shout out to her with that. And it's not only just her, there's a plethora of individuals across the events there. So that's definitely good. We had a good Coaches Classic region showing. We're just finishing up pin relays, ran well, ran in the finals for the national 4x1 and placed second. So dealing with the cold and the rain and the elements, but at the end of the day, we still got to go out and compete. And so we're going to take everything that we've learned from this weekend, from this regular season, we're going to kind of put it all together.
And so now we're going into our state championship series, man, starting off with region coming up this, on May 3rd, region. Then the following week, we got the lower state championship. And on the week after that, we got the state championship. So we got to get healthy. Boys are a little banged up right now, so we got to get healthy. We just got to stay into it mentally. Boys definitely got a shot. I believe we got a shot to come away with 3 titles. That's region champions, that's lower state champions, and that's state champions. So we just got to continue to work, man. Got to continue to stay humble and trust the process, man.
It's hard to have a whole team feeling 100% healthy. So, of course, we're going to go home, rest up, try to handle our nicks and bruises, and get ready for this region meet come Wednesday. Girls side, we definitely got a shot to winning not only region, but if we handle business and stay consistent, we'll put ourselves in a good position to win the state championship at the end of the year. So stay tuned, man, and we'll see where things go from here.
All right, we're back.
All
Stuff,
right.
man. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Hey, so you know, what I'm saying, little tidbit, man. Shout out to my boy Proctor, man. I hope he's still on watching, man.
All right, man.
So well, we kind of both kind of came up with that idea of kind of showing the behind the scenes and what it's like being a part of Ridgeview track and field, you know, and throughout the season. And so for 2 years, you know, we had like a little
Vlog.
vlog, like a 4-part
Yeah,
series, you
man.
know, say for two
Yeah,
years, man. So, you know,
nice.
that's definitely on YouTube. So, you know, if anybody wants to go and check us out, man, and kind of, you know, see what it is in life, you know, saying Ridgeview track and field, definitely check that out, man. You know, it's just a vision that Proctor and I had. Uh, since he came on board back in COVID. I think that was 2021, man. We linked up in Oregon at Nike Nationals. And, you know, a lot of the ideas of where I wanted to take the program, you know, I mean, shoot, we aligned, man. It was kind of like that movie Step Brothers where they found out that it was a lot of stuff that they liked. It's like, did we
Yeah,
just become best friends? Yep, you know.
yeah.
And so
That's what's up, man.
yeah, man. So hey, I mean it's no other person that I wouldn't want to be, you know what I'm saying, on this ride with that's leading, you know, another side of the program than Charles Proctor, man. Great guy. And so, you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to put Ridgeview on the map, man. You know,
Yeah.
we know we're state known. We want to be nationally known, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and that comes with a different mindset. You know, sometimes, you know, kids might be able to handle it, some can't. But at the end of the day, you know, they got to meet the standard.
Yep. A little bit
So
of
y'all
You
tough.
know.
won two state championships, right? Two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. So, on the girls' side, of course, we went 23 and 20, and 24, most recently. And then the boys won last year as well. So, we swept, you know what I'm saying, class 4A.
Right.
Um, you know, so that was definitely surreal there. That's my boy Proctor's first, you know, and so that was a blessing to, you know, be able to celebrate that with him. You
Oh,
know, he's
yeah.
been close so many times, man. You know, so many times. So to see him finally get his first one, I don't know if I ever said that. I mean, I know I always said, you know, to him personally, man, but now I'm broadcasting to the world, man. Boy,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, my boy.
That's
I'm
right,
proud of
man.
you. You know.
That's right.
And so, you know, hopefully everything, you know, stays well, and, you know, try to stay as healthy as we can. And I mean, he got a great shot of doing it again, man. And it couldn't happen to a better guy.
All
Oh,
right,
man.
cool.
Mhm.
I got one more clip. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Once again, I
Okay.
don't own rights to this clip. Um, Everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Stay with us, Warren.
All right.
Said we started off with a bang. Hey, boss. You know what time it is when we hit the airport. Back to the rings and flight, dog. Hey man, it's a beautiful day up here in Boston, man. The sun then came out. It's supposed to be snowing today. God and took the snow away for us, and we're gonna have us a good day out here, man. Today the boys got the 1600 meter sprint med 2248. I feel real good about it, man. We happen to be in one of the slower heats, so we're gonna have to steal it from there. Preparation has been great. The expectation is no different than any other time we step on the track. We expect to dominate our field, and the boys have been doing well in training. They're running fast. They're confident. Had a great start to the outdoor season last year. The Diamond Hornet, being Diamond Hornet team champions, had some big PRs there. So man, I'm expecting the guys to do what we do anytime we step on the track, and that's compete for a damn national championship. And so, look, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Anytime you all see the camera out, y'all know we're gonna do something big. And so, View County takes over Boston, baby.
Feeling pretty good, man. You know, we're coming in here relatively healthy. My kids are excited. I'm excited. Brand new facility. New Balance Indoor Nationals. You know, where else do you want to be? Here early on Friday morning. I got the Nia Staley warming up for the Championship Girls 400. I got a really good lane. We're in lane 4 of Heat 10. So as long as we come here and run as well as I know we can run, and have our race model in place, you know, we got a shot of doing something here. So she's going to start us off really well. You know, of course, we got Alana in the long jump. That'll be later on this afternoon. Hey, View County, man, we here to get rings. And a little nervous this is good. But we're here now. What? You deserve to be here. You earned it. All right? Now we just got to go out, man, show the world what we got. Put Miss Valentine on the map.
We're still early in the season. We still haven't even scratched the surface of of the potential that we can perform at. And so, look, I'm just expecting the kids to continue to keep their head down, continue to grind. As long as we can stay healthy and hungry, I think sky's the limit for this program going forward, man. Like I always say, I'll see y'all in May, and I expect to have a big May and a big June like we did last year.
Man, look
Right.
like you love
Yeah.
what you do, man.
Yeah.
Man, hey, I love it, man. I love it, you know, and I think the biggest thing is giving our kids the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could I can probably say this 100 times, man. I don't think there's a program, at least in this state, that's doing it like Ridgeview, man. It's
Flying out. Shoot, man. Y'all
hey,
doing like
hey,
college.
yeah, man. Hey, it's View County, man. That's what we do here, right?
Yo, man.
You know, we
Representing.
go, we find the smoke, and we go and try to compete with it, you know. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you've seen we've gone to pin relays. We've gone to indoor nationals for Nike. We've gone to indoor nationals for New Balance. Both outdoor nationals with Nike and New Balance. Shoot, we just took a trip out to Texas
Wow.
relays this year, last month. You know, I ran pretty well up there. So both the
Man.
boys made the finals in the 4x1 and the 4x4 there. My girls made the finals in the 4x4 at Texas relay. So I mean, hey, we travel, right? We run well, we compete well, and then you know, what I'm saying, we come back in the state, and now we prepare to compete against whoever we need to compete against. So
Yeah.
that's the View County way, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Sure, man.
I
For
got
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what is your philosophy to the kids for a first time track runner? They coming out trying out for your team.
Uh, expect to make mistakes, man. Right? But come with a winner set mindset. I tell the kids all the time, my standards are high, and I don't drop my standards for anybody. either you meet me at the top or I'll find somebody else to meet me there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there are definitely other programs at the school that, saying could use some help too, So
Yeah,
I let them know, I mean, track and field might not isn't for everybody, but if we're going to
exactly.
be out here, right, we're going to compete to win because at the end of the day, when we put that blazer across our chest, it's a standard, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Sure.
so that's my philosophy, man. Hey, compete
All
to
right.
win,
All
compete to
right.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a message for the youth as well?
Hey, just stay with it. Times are never as easy all the time, right? Um, just keep your head down, stay focused, and if you truly love it and want it, you'll find a way to get there, right? And even if you can't get there, you'll find, I mean, you'll find what you're looking for along the way. So, yeah, man, stay
Right.
with it.
All right.
Any shout outs before we head out, Warren?
Um, Hey, first and foremost, man, I could not do what I do without, what I'm saying, the missus that's by my side. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
When I say, well, when I say I got to, what I'm saying, I got a wife that holds a brother down,
Yeah. The
knowing
Rock.
I'm always traveling and, staying
Mhm.
with the kids, and even though she kind of gives me the side eye, what I'm saying, a lot of times I'm saying, hey, I got another trip I got to go to,
Oh
but
man. Yeah.
but love you, babe. Definitely, saying shout out to
So.
her, man.
Mhm.
Um, I think I've already shouted out my boy, Proctor. I know my man, Michael Stackhouse was on. Hopefully he's still on, man. Even though you probably gave me a couple gray hairs, man, I definitely appreciate you, you know. And then shoot, I know my man Silas. I think he's watching as well. That's been my guy since high school, man. That's like my brother. So
Right.
he's always giving me words of encouragement, man, and push me to think outside the box, and to always keep thinking. And so I think those, so those four individuals. I mean, of course, my whole coaching staff, man. And, I can, list names and go on for days, but um,
All right.
you know,
So
Angel Brooks, boom,
if someone
yeah,
wanted to watch you guys, I know you're still in season.
yeah.
When is your next meet, and how can someone, get in contact to see one of your events?
Yeah, yeah. So uh, we have our region championship that will be next Wednesday, and we're actually hosting it. So, if you're in the Columbia area or nearby and you want to see a really good track meet, definitely come out to that, man. That region, our region is one of the toughest region in the state, if not the toughest. I say we're probably the SEC of track and field in saying in South Carolina. And I think it's you kind of see that if you kind of following the landscape, with Blythewood and ourselves and Spring Valley and Westwood. I mean, the state championship we got to come through the Met.
Oh yeah.
So, so definitely if you're looking for a really good track meet, definitely come out Ridgeview next Wednesday. I think we're popping off. I mean, if you get there 5 o'clock, you'll be right on time, you know.
All right.
Um, and then of course the following week, we got like lower state, mid state, and then of course I think the week what's that, May 17th will be our state meet. So
All
All
right,
right.
man. Proud of you,
yeah.
brother, man. Keep up the
All right,
hustle, man.
man.
For
Hey, man,
sure.
hey, look at I definitely appreciate it. Definitely
Hey,
appreciate
man,
it.
Yeah, man.
we appreciate you coming on the show,
Yeah,
man. I
coming
know
on the
you
show. Mm-hmm.
out all year round, traveling from state to state, trying to
Yeah.
keep the kids focused and trying to send them to school so they don't have to pay anything out of pocket. For
Yeah.
everybody that's watching, you just watched the new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host Jermaine Coulter. Like to thank my main man KJ Kevin Johnson, former Clemson cornerback from '99 to '02, and I also like to thank today's special
Yeah,
guest,
man.
former Clemson track and field runner. This guy right here is a state champion 2 times, 2018, 2023 through 2024, and he's working on his third this year right here, projected to
Right,
be the
man.
Man,
front runner, Mr. Warren Eure, former Spring
appreciate
Valley
it.
High School wide receiver and
Yeah,
track star.
man.
All
Yeah.
right, we appreciate
Yes,
you coming
sir.
on the show.
Appreciate you, man.
And if you know
Hey,
anybody else that's a good fit, it could be a player, a track
Yeah, man.
student, or it could be
yeah.
one of your coaches, man. Send them this way. Anybody that went on to college and they doing their thing, we'd love to have them on the
Want some
show.
big things, yeah.
Examples of the youth that's striving and following their dreams. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
most definitely, man. Hey, definitely thank y'all, man. I love this podcast, man. Y'all doing a good thing. Keep it up, and I'm definitely gonna try to push some individuals your way.
Oh,
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. Appreciate you, man. Please
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, for
yes,
everybody
sir.
that's watching, we appreciate you guys viewing. Don't forget to cop our merch. The link will be at the end of the show. And you know our motto: it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Until
That's
next
right.
time, we see you guys later and have a good weekend.
All right,
Peace.
man.
Yeah, right.